Okay, so today we're talking about proportions, chapter 3-5 and page 124 in your book. And this is something that we've done in the past year, so you're just going to have to get refreshed on it. But I think it's going to be easy to remember. So let's do a couple of examples. So a proportion is just two ratios that equal each other. And a ratio is just a comparison of two numbers using a fraction. So we have two fractions here that are going to be equal to each other. How do I know they're equal? Because the equal sign tells me they're equal. So, what's that?
Are we doing just where you circle 16 plus 27 and then just do 36 plus, and you do 36, well, whatever 16 plus 27 is plus 36.
Okay, you're on the right track. So, Bradley was saying we're going to do this. And that is the right thing to do, but we're going to multiply them together. So 16 times 27, I'm going to have to use my calculator because I don't know how to do that in my head. Okay, 432. Thank you, Ethan. And then 36 times n is just going to be 36n.
Then we just do divide by both sides. So 36
Yep.
divided by 36 and 40, 30.
Yep.
132.
Yes.
Divided by 36.
Right. So now we just solved the equation basically. So we divide by whatever's next to the variable. And okay, so 432 divided by 36 is 12. And that's our answer. That's it. For number 2, we're going to do the same thing. Cross multiply on your diagonals and then solve the equation. So 15 times x is 15x. And 9 times 50,
450.
Yep, good. 450. So then I do what? That's right. Divide by whatever's next to the variable. X equals 30. We'll do a couple more of these. So copy these down, and we'll be right back. So number 3 looks a lot different than what we're used to seeing, but that's okay. We can still make it work. We're going to turn those ratios into fractions and then solve the same way we were doing before. So all those 2 dots are another way to write ratios. So I'm just going to change it to be fractions. Just make sure that since I used the 11 first on this side, I have to use the m first on this side. Like, that was the first items and it went on top. So you have to make sure they go in the same place. And then we're going to solve. Yep. So 198, 6m. And then what? Divide. What does that equal? 33, yes, good. All right, and the next one also looks a little different, but that's okay. We're going to draw our imaginary 1 so that both sides have fractions. And then I'm going to cross multiply just like I did before. Does that make sense so far? It will if we do more, I think. So I'm going to do it like this because I have to use what property to multiply those out? Yes, distributive property. So right now I'm just kind of keeping the 15 the same. And 3 times r is what? 3r. And 3 times negative 3? Negative 9. Good. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep solving like I normally would solve an equation. So what do I do next? Yep, I'm going to add 9 to both sides. Hold on, I'm trying to get rid of my toolbar because I'm going to run out of room, but it won't go away. Okay.
3 dots. 3 dots.
There we go. You're so smart, Bradley. Okay, but now I have this random stray line. Okay.
Well, that's probably one that you're trying to draw.
Okay. So add 9 to both sides, and that's going to equal 24 equals 3r. And then my last step is to what? That's right. 8 is correct. Okay. So the same thing again. I'm going to draw my imaginary 1 so that I have a fraction on both sides. Then I can cross multiply. All right. So on this side, I just get 1 times x plus 4. And on this side, I get negative 50. So 1 times x plus 4 is just what?
1 and
It's just x plus 4. And now I'm just going to solve. So what? Oh, you know what? I don't think they can see me when I go full screen. We'll just do it like that. Okay, so what do I do first?
you net to 4
Yep,
on both sides.
that's right. Good. And so then x would equal negative 54, because I'm just adding at that point. So this time I have a fraction on both sides, so I don't have to make one into a fraction. They're already fractions, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Cross multiply. And I'm going to get 9 times x plus 6, and then 3 times 5x, which is 15x. So now I'm going to distribute my 9. So 9 times x is how much? 9x. And 9 times 6? 54 equals 15x. But this time, what do I need to move? The x's. I need the x's to be on the same side. So I'm going to move this one because the other x is already alone and it's just easier to move that one. So I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. So now I have 54 on one side and I have 6x on the other. And last I do what?
Well, 5 by 6.
Good. So, yeah, good. X equals 9. So on number 7, I want you to write this down and solve it yourself. And then I'm going to go away and come back, and then I'll have it solved for you so you can see if you got the right answer. All right, here we go. Here we go solving it. Hopefully you paused and tried it on your own. So on this side I have 5 times x, which is 5x. And on this side I have 3 times x plus 2. So I'm going to distribute my 3. So I'm just going to bring 5x down. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. And then solve. So again, I have an x on both sides. So I'm going to move the x over to the side that already has an x alone. You could do it the other way, but it's going to be another step for you, because then you're going to have to move the number. This way is just more efficient. All right, so 2x equals 6, and then my last step will be divide by 2, and x equals 3. All right, and that's all for today.